What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Wrestling Rewind. Me and Anish are here today with the anticipated release of the HBK documentary coming out. We figured, dude, let's give our top 10 wrestling documentaries. So these will be in no particular order, man, but we got a little bit of business to talk about before that, right, Anish?
Yeah, listen. Here we were foolish thinking we just hop on here and talk about documentaries that nothing big was going to happen in this build to WrestleMania.
Yeah, man. No, that's not how this world works.
That's not how this works. Yeah.
No.
We had an unbelievable CM Punk promo on Monday Night Raw. This is off the heels of the Pat McAfee reveal last week. Lots to talk about. I mean,
yeah. Okay, so I keep seeing the TKO CEO involvement in the booking, and look, corporate is corporate. We all know the corporate evil, yada yada, blah blah blah. Like, I still kept waiting for the other shoe to drop on this Pat McAfee thing, like that there was something else in there. Yeah. But I don't know if I buy. Like, I feel like it's a crutch. Like, you make a bad booking decision, you're like, start a rumor that the CEO is like, you're like, it was the CEO, so I don't know if I buy that, because I know I've heard AEW, which really makes me laugh, because they're private, and they'll be like, hey, they fired this guy, but that wasn't their call, that was TNT, and I'm like, TNT doesn't fucking own them. That's Tony Khan. Tony Khan fired that dude because somebody told him to fire that dude. He's the where the buck stops. Like, stop trying to like hide your bad decisions and hide behind the good guy mask. So I wonder if, now with TKO, it's a little more feasible, because obviously we've seen, which CM Punk addressed, the price changes, the, them trying to get more mainstream dudes in instead of wrestling dudes in, because, butts and seats, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't know. What do you think about that? Do you think that's really happening from up high?
It wouldn't shock me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, look, celebrities at WrestleMania is nothing new. No. This is something that's happened.
It's what it was built on.
Yeah, it's what it was built on. Like, WrestleMania 1 had everybody under the sun that you could think of that was popular at the time. So there's nothing new. I think the issue is how it all played out. Like, there was no need for Pat McAfee to be involved with the Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes storyline. You want to get him involved, you can put him in somewhere else, Yeah. And obviously with the announcement that John Cena is going to be the host, obviously ticket sales probably were a concern. But like CM Punk said, lower the ticket prices.
I know.
Like, they're pricing everybody out here. But yeah, I'm hoping this kind of built. In a dream booker scenario, in an attitude error mindset of thinking that I'm always stuck in.
Oh yeah, same here.
I would love to see a team TKO versus team WWE type situation here.
Yeah.
Like, the way it's being played out, the way CM Punk was talking about it, I feel like they're leaving breadcrumbs to kind of leave the door open. I don't think there's anything set in stone or anything like that of that being an option down the road with like a new authority type figure versus the good guys or whatever. But they're leaving the door open, I feel like. Like
with CM Punk, he's the only one. Like, this is why you pay him what you pay him, are these type of promos. But like, his in-ring work is obviously good too. But like, this is what he's known for. But he's the only one that could drop this promo and everybody be like, "Damn, was he supposed to say that?"
Yeah.
Like, like everybody's not, if Triple H or anybody else said anything about this, they'd be like, "Well, it's scripted." But like, always lingering in the back of my mind is the Unreal documentary, right, that they do. So it's like, how much of everything now is played up, because it didn't get nominated for a whole bunch of fucking awards and stuff. So it's like, it's a big deal, and a big deal outside of wrestling too. So they're of course going to lay into that. So then I'm like, are we just working everyone to work everybody at every turn now? I just have trust issues. I think that's what it boils down to.
100%. 100%. And like you said, CM Punk's the perfect guy to do it, because in the past he's been so unhinged, and like, you never know, like, is he really happy? I don't know. Like, you never really know with him. So he's kind of the perfect person that could have done this and gotten away with it and made it believable.
I also wonder too with Pat McAfee, because that felt hodgepodge, really. So I wonder, someone bounce? Did someone bail out? Like me and my other buddy Phil, we recently did an episode on WrestleMania from '96, and Vince McMahon, like on our research, tried to get O.J. Simpson involved in the backlot brawl with Roddy Piper, and then it fell through, and then you have Roddy Piper and Goldust in this hodgepodge who gives a fuck match, right?
Yeah.
But like a lot of times these celebrities, Chris Jericho with was it Mickey Rourke for The Wrestler? They were supposed to have a feud. Mickey kind of backed out. That kind of got hodgepodge at the last minute. So sometimes dealing with celebrities and other names, I wonder if somebody just bailed at the last minute. Like, and then they just threw Pat in opposed, and then maybe said, "Oh, cool, we'll make this same like someone." Because I mean, look, you get Pat McAfee in, you get your show plugged 5 days a week on ESPN, and it's one of their most popular shows. So people that hate Pat, I like Pat, like I always have.
Yeah.
But as a business standpoint, you're getting free publicity for, on the and it's on the channel that the pay-per-view's running on, right? Or so
PLE, yep.
Yeah, so I mean, there you go. Like it makes sense, but also it just felt like out of left field. Like I didn't know, or like they boys back in the day or some shit. It's like it just feels like, hey, I'm a bad guy now. Sweet, and you're like, cool. I guess we got 3 weeks to make this make sense. So I don't know, man.
Yeah,
we'll see, man. So. Let's move over to our top 10 list for these documentaries. Like I said, not in any particular order. At the end of the episode, we will say which one of these is our favorite. Nish, why don't you kick us off, man? What do you got first?
Yeah, so my list, I realized when I made my list, I have a lot of newer stuff on my list. Just recency bias, fresh off the top of mind. That's going to happen. So I try to mix in some older ones with some newer ones,
which is fun because I think all of mine are older ones. So we'll mix fine, man. But also, let's be honest, the production value of these new documentaries they're putting out are insane. Like they're hitting home runs with all these. So you're forgiven.
Yeah. Okay, fair. Thank God. So the first one I'm gonna go with was an awesome documentary when it came out. I think it came out probably almost 10 years ago now. I'm gonna go with the Andre the Giant documentary on HBO.
Yeah, man. Bill Simmons involved, right?
Yeah. I mean, Bill Simmons. Say what you want to say about him. I'm a Bill Simmons fan.
Same.
But say what you want to say about him. He knows how to put out a good documentary.
Yes.
And this Andre the Giant one, it was so good. It was so intriguing about a person who, really his run was very short-lived. Mm-hmm. It was really like a 2-year peak, and I feel like the documentary did a good job of like really encompassing his actual WWE career and like his actual personal life. Because I mean, at that time, nobody really cared about the personal lives of these wrestlers or anything like that. So, and also we can't forget it gave us the famous Vince McMahon meme where he's just like
shaking his head or whatever, he's about to cry or whatever.
Yeah,
and I mean, like, because Andre had the big territory run that. You would never know because there wasn't this cable television thing back then that was as popular. So you would see him come to your town for, once every year, once every 6 months. And it was an attraction, as you hear people say all the time. So I agree with you. This is top tier documentary. Like, even if you're not a wrestling fan, top tier. Yep. Did a great job of going through his life. I actually read the book. Pat, I forgot what his last name is, and I will mispronounce it if I try. Wrote it. I think it's called The Eighth Wonder of the World or something like that. Or excuse me, The Eighth Wonder of the World. But anyway, it's a really good book. But he was in this doc, so I think Bill did his research and got some experts in there too on this, which is pretty cool. So I am going to go with Beyond the Mat, which was one of the first ones that I remember being a documentary I saw on wrestling, and this guy did a bunch of different layers and got access that most people probably wouldn't get. So had some indie wrestlers and things on there. He followed, I think New Jack's on it. He follows Mick Foley. Mick calls him shortly after the Rock chair incident, where in the I Quit match, and he's kind of rambling, and the guy that's I should have done research, but who was in this. But anyway, it's a great doc to just see kind of little curtain peeled back on this in wrestling. Did you see this one?
I did see this one. This was a really good one. I think this one is probably universally the most beloved wrestling documentary. I feel like when you look up the list, like Beyond the Mat is always like mentioned in every single list you talk about. So
yeah, they did a great job on this. So if you haven't seen it, for sure, go see it, man. What do you got next?
All right. So next, I think we're gonna have a couple of documentaries from this man on our list. No spoilers, but I'm gonna go with Hitman Hart, Wrestling with Shadows. This one was just awesome. I know the one you picked, I won't spoil it, but this one kind of dives more into his entire career, especially what happened with his WCW move and all that. And I feel like he just did a really good job of the storytelling with the documentary. And if I'm not mistaken, it's been a while since I've seen the documentary, but if I'm not mistaken, a lot of this is really just footage of just Bret talking to other people. It's not like interview style.
No, it's they just like ghosted or shadowed him, I guess. Like I love this one too. This is Chris putting his tinfoil hat on. This documentary is the reason that I think the Montreal Screwjob was a work. That the cameras happened to be there. He happened to be mic'd up when he went in the back, or they forgot that they were still mic'd up. All these coincidences lined together. Now, again, for my tinfoil hat, I believe Bret Hart and Vince McMahon are the only people that knew it was a work. Yeah. So I think both of those guys will take that to their grave. So because they knew, it would make good story on WWE and would make good story on WCW for Bret. And then, move forward. Scott Hall agreed with me, damn it. So I saw him say it on another one, man. So the next one I'm going to do, if you haven't seen it, a little underrated here, Macho Man, the Randy Savage story. This is still, I believe, WWE had this old documentary style and this voiceover guy that if you hear it, you'll know what I'm talking about. This was kind of still in that vein a little bit. But a big fan of Macho Man, always have been. From Be Kind, Let's Rewind, we had John Finkel on that wrote a book on Macho Man. It's a great read, or an audio book if you're like me and you can't read. But it's just a fascinating story on him. Like, I just love his, doing baseball, and then, the story of him just destroying his bats, and now he's going to be a pro wrestler and put on about 40 pounds of muscle and all this other shit. Like, finding the Macho Man gimmick, being crazy, and all that shit. Anyway, great documentary. I assume you're probably a Macho Man fan yourself, so
yep.
I think probably everybody is, man. So go check it out. What's the next one?
Yeah, excellent pick there. Next one, again, going with a little bit of recency bias. I'm going to go with The Undertaker, Last Ride.
Man.
The multi-part documentary that was recently released, kind of chronicling his last few WrestleManias, going into I guess unofficial retirement to official retirement. Just a fantastic documentary. Like the fact that they were able to really film him for that long without us having any idea that they were being filmed, because he was so good at just holding the character close to the vest and not letting anybody in, and not knowing, what was real, what wasn't real, what people were, being fed, as opposed to what's being, actually, true to himself.
Right.
So that's why this documentary was so intriguing, because it was like for 20 plus years, we were kind of kept in the dark about all the behind the scenes stuff with The Undertaker. So for him to, peel it all back in this multi-part documentary was just awesome to watch.
Yeah, this was one I'd loved it when I watched it, but when I saw, you put it on your list, I was like, oh, dude, I totally forgot about that one. And again, all these recent documentaries they're putting out, that's why I'm so excited about the Shawn MIchaels one. Yeah. Dude, they're killing them. I mean, they always were good, but they've updated their style and their editing, and I don't know, WWE production, top freaking tier. But yeah, this one was great, and it is cool, like you said. He debuted in the early 90s, so I mean, we're talking 30 years, I guess 20 years, 25 years when this doc came out. We had no idea, You had a small glimpse in the American Badass of him outside that character, kind of, sort of, but it was cool to see, Dad Taker and, like all that, him playing basketball with his daughter and his wife, giving him the business. And you're like, wait, everybody's wife gives their husband the business? Cool, I don't feel as bad now. This next one, I'll preface this. The documentary itself is okay. The subject matter is why I picked this. Bobby the Brain Heenan. There's an older doc that you can find. All this stuff that I watched used to be on Peacock, so I have no idea where it's migrated at this point. It's because WWE just kind of like the Dragon Balls. They just scattered them all over the earth, and you have to go find them. But I'm a huge Bobby Heenan fan. I actually got an autograph picture that I bought not too long ago just to pay homage to the man. In my opinion, best manager ever in pro wrestling. Him and Gorilla are my favorite commentary team of all time. I don't know. That dude was just a genius and so quick-witted. Like, probably should have been in comedy and not wrestling. But and then you go watch him wrestle. He was fantastic in the ring on top of everything. Like, as a manager, he could sell, he could do everything, but his story is pretty interesting. So, but yeah, love Bobby the Brain Heenan. I hope that he continues to get love from everybody, even the younger fans.
Yeah. Side note, I feel like there are a lot of documentaries about kind of smaller or lesser known wrestlers like that, which Bobby the Brain Heenan was not obviously a lesser known guy, right. But in the grand scheme of things, with all the documentaries that are out there.
Today's world, there's probably a ton that don't know him.
Yeah, exactly. So, and there was a stretch there where WWE was just putting out a shit ton of documentaries. So yeah, some of these are going to fall through the cracks, but the Bobby the Brain one, yeah, like you said, the subject matter alone, just all the things he did in the business, and he was just good at everything he did.
Yeah,
which is kind of rare to see, right? Usually when you have an awesome manager, they're really not really that good in the ring or at commentary.
Right.
He kind of had it all. So
he's the 5-tool player, man.
Yeah.
That's what he was. But yeah, so much love to Bobby, man. What do you got next?
Yep. All right. So the next one, I figured that this would have to be on the list just because of, like you said, the subject matter. And the time this documentary came out, it was kind of in the midst of everything that was going on with him. I'm gonna go with the Mr. McMahon documentary on Netflix. Yeah. They were filming it, and they had him for, I think it was 4 episodes. They had him for the first 3, and then the 4th one is when all the allegations came out. So the 4th one he's not in. So they kind of had to rework that last episode to kind of include some of that and like kind of talk about that as well. So, but very well done. You get a good glimpse into how he built up the business, how he got the business, and then just a lot of family stuff too, like with Shane and Stephanie, which was kind of nice to see. I know you kind of hear stuff through the grapevine and things like that, but to actually hear the stories from them themselves, it definitely drives the points home.
Yeah, this is one of those I've probably watched 2 or 3 times. I don't know what it was. There's certain docs that the Andre doc was the same way too. They hook me, and then I just enjoy going back and watching them. If I don't have anything, that I particularly want to watch, I'll go back and watch this doc just because it's fascinating. It's a fascinating life. I mean, obviously the allegations. There is one damning part in there where he says, they're like, he's talking about like his brain thinking, and they're like, what are you thinking about right now? And he's like, sex. And I was like, oh boy, that didn't age well. I was like,
this is also a Bill Simmons documentary.
Dude, so. he's hitting home runs. Again, like you, OG Bill Simmons fan from back in the day, great. Sponsor our podcast.
Or sign us. I know you have the Ringo Wrestling Show, but
yeah, dude, just get us on there, man. Yeah. Speaking of signing, what about that little lid you got on there, man? The Swami hat, dude, is here.
The Swami hat is here. We've been workshopping this idea for the past month. It feels like going back and forth and trying to figure out some good content, some good merch for the people. So yeah, the Swami hat. We needed something.
Yeah, we had to represent the Swami. I mean,
exactly.
We weren't going to be able in today's society to have you wear an actual Swami hat like Chris Berman. Also, turns out you can't find them on eBay. They're just not available. So we just went with the traditional one. But that's a badass logo you came up with, and we got the hat done, man. So anyway, just a small plug for us. Also, it's not available right now. You can't buy it. We're gonna make you want it, and then you have to. Then we'll sell it after you're like, damn, I want one of those hats. So
yeah, if we get enough comments in the section and subscribes, we'll put it up on the store. But until then,
you gotta earn it. You gotta earn it, man. So my next pick is another just nostalgia thing, you're probably on board with this one. The Monday Night War, which I had to stop myself 1,000 times saying the Monday Night Wars, plural. And it's one of those things that when you get into podcasting, you start getting into weeds on stuff. You start like Paul Rubens, different names where it's like there's an S on it or there's not an S when you thought there was an S. And anyway, there was only one war apparently. It was the Monday Night War. It was singular. Thanks. Shout out to my English teacher. But this one is great. It's a multi-part doc, and just takes you back to more or less our childhood. So you go back and you're watching everything, unfold again, how the NWO formed, all the way back to when Ted Turner bought WCW and Bischoff went into power, the Attitude Era starts, like it's, Montreal Screwjob, et cetera, Stone Cold, The Rock. Awesome. I don't know. For me, it's well done. All of these are well done. I guess it probably goes without saying, but this one is just nostalgia pumped in my veins is what this is.
Yeah, this one was so fantastic. It's funny because there's, like we mentioned earlier, there's so many documentaries out there that when I made my list, I completely forgot about this one. And then when you said it, I'm like, crap, that definitely would have been on my list. But I'm glad you actually had it. That way it's being represented here. But yeah, that one was so good. Just like you said, just a trip down memory lane, really. And even just like an honorable mention, Vice recently came out with the Fall of WCW documentary a couple years ago.
Yeah,
that one was also pretty good too, to kind of relive, everything that happened there. So, but yeah, this one, absolute banger.
Vice, Vice has some fantastic stuff over there. And I like on the wrestling documentaries because they don't make me feel bad for being white. Yeah. There are other documentaries, maybe not so much. The wrestling ones I can watch and be like, I guess I don't suck when I'm watching wrestling. Yeah. What do you got, man, for the last one, I guess? Yeah.
So speaking of Vice, I'm gonna go with the Vice original, Dark Side of the Ring, specifically the Chris Benoit story.
Great pick.
Thou who shall not be named nowadays.
Yeah. Who? Just got the video got shadow banned.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not. This one can't be posted on YouTube anymore.
I'll bleep. I'm like, look, we bleep out.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
We're trying.
Yeah. I got another beep in this one now.
Yeah, I know. Just make more work for myself.
But this one was so good. It was a two-parter. Just kind of, I think the first part was really kind of his life before everything happened and like his relationship with the wrestlers and Eddie Guerrero and things like that. And the second part really kind of dived into the tragedy of it all. It was just really good, man. They had Chris Jericho on there, and I didn't realize how, obviously Chris Jericho was really, close to the family and things like that, but I didn't realize exactly how close he was with the family. So him being able to kind of recount and retell those stories really kind of puts perspective onto it, So really well-made documentary. Dark Side of the Ring is just really good as is, but this one specifically just was a home run for me.
Yeah, I agree on that one because this one was one of those almost taboo when they came out with it. I remember when they announced it, I was like, oh shit, like they're gonna dive into this. I mean, but they're the perfect style of doc to dive into it, given the name. But like, I didn't realize how much Eddie's death affected Chris, like how it basically destroyed him, and then him having struggles at home, and then you find out later with the dementia and all that other stuff. It was a good doc to kind of show. They do a good job a lot of times of showing like the life of these guys back in the day, especially traveling Mexico, Japan. It's a rough life. If you hit it big, it's millions of dollars and stuff. But it's like, if you don't have a brain left, I mean, is it worth it? Like, you don't. We didn't know back then. So, but again, great doc, man. So I'll bring us home with the Shawn MIchaels versus Bret Hart. And this DVD came out right after Bret came back. And so Shawn and Bret made up, and then this was like a big deal because it was the first time, more or less, they sat down and talked about this. And they're in a, it's like an interview style. And it really was a peer into their, individual takes on everything that happened. Shawn's obviously a changed man now, so he was pretty honest that he was like a piece of shit back then. Bret is king of the haters club ball. He's always hating him and Jim Cornette. But like he was like, Shawn, you're a dick or whatever, and Shawn's like, yeah. Like,
I know.
I know. I sucked back then. Like,
yeah.
But it was, to me, this one was, however many years in the making, like almost 20 years in the making. So I was front row buying this DVD as soon as it came out. I was like, yep, take no money, thanks, bye. Yeah. So this one was it was a fun watch.
Oh, yeah. Shawn's like, I said with all due respect.
I said with all due respect. I don't understand what else I need to do.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a good one. Especially just having them in the same room. Yeah. Kind of talk through the the incident and the situation and all that. It was really cool to see. Like you said, Bret's just an all-time hater. I don't think he'll ever stop hating.
No.
Like
hate.
He just doesn't have it in him to stop hating. So but yeah, it was definitely a great watch, especially just I think the fact that we're both in the same room really kind of drove it home. Yeah, if it was like two separate interviews, you're like, you can spin it whatever way you want to, but having them react to each other's responses, definitely great.
That's what sold me. That was the take my money moment when it was like both of them sitting there. I was like, done. Give me this, because those that don't know, Shawn Michaels is my favorite all-time wrestler. So anything with Shawn, and I will tolerate zero hate for him. Talking to you, Meltzer. Yeah. Anyway, man. So we got the 10 in no particular order. Let me put you on the spot, dude. Of all of these documentaries, if you had to pick your number one, which one is your number one?
Man, so when you say number one, I'm thinking, what's the one documentary? If I had to just have one documentary that I got to watch on loop,
yep.
Which one is that going to be?
You're on the desert island with a DVD player and a TV, and they have power for some reason. Why did terrible scenario? I'll come up with a better one later.
Yeah. You got Starlink. Yeah. I think for me, I'm going to go with the Monday Night War.
Nice.
Yeah, I think just the nostalgia of it, the fact that it's multiple episodes, there's a lot of content. Each one talks about a different subject matter, so like it's like you're almost getting kind of a new story every episode.
Yeah.
I'd have to go with that. Like I said, I was mad that I didn't think of it on my own when you sent me the list. So yeah, for me, I think it'd be the Monday Night War.
Dude, for me, I'm gonna steal one from your list as well. See, we give and take on this show. My favorite one, hands down, because I've seen it 1,000 times, the Andre the Giant documentary.
Yeah.
I think that may be the best documentary, like as far as just well done, somebody that's been gone a long time, brought back to life before your very eyes in this documentary. All this old footage I didn't realize was out there that Simmons found, and all these guys, man, fantastic doc. I don't know where it resides now. Now, again, it's like Dragon Balls. Go try to find all of these somewhere, and hopefully you can collect them all and make your wish. But yeah, it's a good one, man. So let us know, man, in the comments. What do you think about this? Do we leave some out? Like, let them put those in the comments. Maybe your favorite wrestling documentaries, and more importantly, like, subscribe, share with your friends, and go follow Sleepy Dad Podcast and Be Kind, Let's Rewind. Those are our home bases of Be Kind, Let's Rewind. We cover all things nostalgia. You want to give a brief synopsis of Sleepy Dad?
Yeah, Sleepy Dad's podcast. We just, me and two other buddies, just ranting about being parents, and we talk sports, and just really we're just rambling.
Yeah, dude.
We're just shooting the shit, rambling. That's all we do.
You got kids, you need to vent with them, man. Go over there and check them out, dude. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to tune in next week, and we're going to have an announcement that will probably change the face of pro wrestling. And, guys, we will see you down the road.